Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Tuesday, August 10th. Is the $2 million EIDL loan increase right around the corner? I don't make many predictions on this channel, but in this quick video, I'll share why I think the SBA may increase the limit in September. I'll share the latest data and information that points to this, including some information from the recent Government Accountability Office report. Be sure to watch until the end of this quick video, and if you want to help us, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Let's try to get this video to over 3,000 likes. I think we can do it. It really helps us be seen in the YouTube algorithm so more people can get this information. And consider subscribing and turning on alerts, and then checking out our free app. It is Hello Skip in the App Store and Google Play. Join hundreds of thousands of others that are using it. We have more videos, more information, more data always on our app, and a new funding tracker as well. Let me start at the top and why I think things are looking good for the SBA to decide on increasing EIDL loan limits to $2 million. Perhaps it's only a matter of weeks away, and we'll see this in September. Here is an article from March 24th from the U.S. Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Chair Ben Cardin, Democrat from Maryland, issued a statement after the SBA announced changes to increase the utility of the EIDL program. Starting the week of April 6th, SBA is raising the loan limit from 6 months of economic injury with a maximum loan amount of $150,000 up to 24 months of economic injury with a maximum loan amount of $500,000. That's where we're at today. Here's another quote Cardin said, "I was very disappointed when the Trump administration implemented the 150 cap. That was last year's cap that Isabel Guzman changed very quickly after she took over as the head of the SBA." He continues, "So I am grateful that Administrator Guzman is already working to increase the limit to the maximum $2 million allowed by statute. EIDL loans provide affordable patient capital, which gives small businesses greater flexibility in how to deploy the loan to best serve their needs." So even back in March, right after the 500 limit went into effect, there was talk about, okay, that's a great start. What else can we do beyond that? Because there are lots of businesses now that have hit that 500K cap ceiling. Again, given the new 24 months of working capital timeline, a significant number of businesses could use more than the current 500K cap. Ben Cardin talked about it here. Here's an article that came out a couple weeks after that said, furthermore, an SBA official recently testified before the Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship, that's the one Ben Cardin chairs, that the agency plans to increase the maximum EIDL program loan amount to $2 million, the maximum amount permitted by law. I've heard this as well directly from our SBA contacts. It was being talked about in March in front of the Senate subcommittee, and the conversation has continued. This is an article from June. SBA aims to raise economic injury disaster loan limit to $2 million in coming months. June 8th is when this came out. The SBA is committed to increasing its EIDL loan limit to $2 million, and the agency hopes to make that change happen over the summer. SBA Administrator Isabel Guzman said in an interview with the Business Journals that the agency has been working on the technology upgrades needed to increase loans made through the program to that limit, and pointed out the agency already raised the original cap from 150K to 500K earlier this year. Again, this is an article from June. Finally, one more quote. Since that increase, Guzman and other SBA officials have said in several congressional hearings and in testimony that the agency has been working to increase that limit again to $2 million, but no timeline has been spelled out for doing so. And that still holds true today. No official timeline on when that will happen, but that's typical with the SBA. You know, they don't want to feed the rumor mill. If they make an announcement, that means they've already made the policy decision and it's happening. They're not going to say, well, we think it'll be August, we think it will be September, October, until they have decided whether they are going to do it or not. Okay, so here's why I think things are going to happen soon and likely in September. We know the SBA and lawmakers have been talking about this. They're aware of it. The problem has been this. The SBA has been tackling a backlog of millions of EIDL loan applications, mainly all the EIDL loan increases. You know, according to our YouTube poll, around 30% of people have been approved, around 30% are still waiting, and around 40% have been denied, and many of them are trying for reconsideration. But finally, and I was happy to report this first, the SBA announced late July the major changes they've done in EIDL loan application processing. In June, they were doing 2,000 applications per day. If they continued that pace, many of you would be waiting until 2022 for your EIDL loan increase decisions. Somehow they basically 20x'd it. They say they switched the loan processing to the Office of Capital Access, and they made some process improvements, hired more loan officers, changed some of the requirements, specifically that loan officers had to get on the phone with an applicant, which limited how many loan applications an officer could get through in a day, so they cut the phone call requirement. First, we heard that EIDL loan reviews had increased 10x to 20,000 per day. A few days later, we heard they even hit almost 40,000 reviewed in a day, and the SBA quickly clarified that they had a backlog of around 600,000 in the loan modification queue, and they expected to clear that by mid-August. Mid-August is this weekend, and even if we say, okay, let's give them another week or two to then go over the harder cases, which are the reconsiderations, right? So as far as we know, they've only committed to reviewing the initial backlog of increase requests by mid-August. But we know there's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in the reconsideration queue. Those will require more time, more back and forth with a loan officer, which may take another couple weeks, but I'm optimistic they'll be able to get through it quickly and then shift on to something else. And hopefully that something else is the $2 million EIDL loan increases, because I do know it would help countless businesses. And you know, the SBA mentioned it again on July 19th. They wrote this response to the Government Accountability Office. This is a letter from James Rivera, who's the Associate Administrator of the SBA. Well, first of all, he agreed with a lot of the findings in this report, saying they need to make improvements to communication, and he also clarified a lot of the improvements they've already done. And I just want to point out this section here where he addresses some of the critique. With regard to loan limits and application status, SBA believes we have made corrections to address these areas, basically having better communication in an effective, consistent, or timely manner. And then he talks about the initial $150K cap, how the agency increased the loan limits to 24 months of working capital up to $500,000. And SBA has continued a practice of being open and transparent about the loan limit and the agency's commitment to offer further increases up to the full statutory limit of $2 million for eligible businesses. So it's right here in the July 19th letter saying we're still aware of this, we're still planning to do this and communicate when we do this to the general public. And here's why I think it's going to happen in September. The SBA has ramped up significantly over the past year and a half. Since March 2020, they were at less than 2,000 staff. Now with staff and contractors, they have over several thousand. And this is a chart that ends in February, but I imagine they've had to keep this the same through the EIDL loan increase backlog, if not ramp it up. They may have ramped it up. I'd be very curious to see the latest numbers of full-time staff. And they know more people need help. So rather than say bye to these thousands of staff and contractors right away, September would be the time to finally say, okay, we've successfully cleared the EIDL loan increase backlog up to the 500K level. We've gone through the reconsideration requests. Our portal finally has the bugs worked out. It's working smooth, and we have a lot of the information in place to assess every applicant. Now let's announce we're raising the limit to $2 million per business. September would be a fantastic time to do it. And if they do decide to do it, then the SBA should already have the majority of information they need for your business. They have your tax transcripts. They have a lot of the information they already need. So it'd be a fantastic sign, maybe a few weeks away. I'd love to hear what you think about this in the comments. When do you think the 2 million increase will come, if at all? And does this affect your business? It may not be relevant for many of you because you have plenty of room left in the 500K cap. For those of you who've been limited at the 500K level, I'd love to hear in the comments as well if this would help your business. Most importantly, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to download our free app in the App Store and Google Play. Just search HelloSkip or click the link right below and set up our free funding tracker. Pull in your EIDL and PPP data and track progress towards your funding goals. Plus, we have more videos on the app that we don't publish here, and help this video get to 3,000 likes. Just give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.